Gotta hold it with it. Just walking my uh, homestead here. I'm all the way at the furthest point on my homestead. What's up, Lone Star? I'm in my very back pasture, and man, God blessed me with a wonderful chunk of property. I want to, you know, no matter what kind of times you go through, you always got to be thankful for what you got. And I've been blessed. So I'm going to turn the camera around for a minute. That way y'all ain't got to see my ugly mug the whole time. Okay? Turn around. There is one of my deer stands right there. Bam. This is my, like I said, my furthest part of my property. If y'all happen to catch Maniac Grandma's live stream the other day when she had me on her panel with a gentleman named Dave and Maria, we were talking about hunting. And this was the spot that I was talking about. Right over here, all hardwoods. That's all hardwoods. This is the area that I'm going to plant. I got a little bit of a food buffer right there. It's a lot of dewberries and stuff. It's a good natural habitat for mice, rats, snakes. Some of your smaller predators may live in that. Fox may live in there. Um, but I keep that there anyway, temporary. And when we go up more, you'll see more of them. But I keep areas like that to keep them back here. And I hope the wise old owl shows up while we're out here. But anyway, this area down here. Hey, Mama. What do you mean later? Later what? You leaving? Why are you leaving? Where are you going? um, this area down here, okay, all of this right here is what I want to plant. But down there in the bottom, it's probably too dark down there right now. But down there is the creek and other spots where I sit. Uh, but just what's going on there, Duncan? How you doing? Out on my homestead, and this is just some of our pastures. Now we do not have that. Like I said, this area is going to be food plot for hunting. I haven't quite made up my mind about this area past these this shrub line right here. Haven't made up my mind yet. So right now I'm letting them free graze until we get the Eggmobile situated and up and running really good, and we up our flock a little bit. Uh, but I can hear that's all hardwoods over there. They like to go over there and hang out in the shade and everything. What's up, Eastern Arkansas? Man. See, when you've been homesteading for a while, or you've been hunting and trapping, and you spend a lot of time in the outdoors, you can recognize certain smells like that. Now, I got a strong, fresh coyote urine smell right here in this little spot that I'm at. And it's driving me crazy. When I start smelling smells like that, I want to get my traps out. But and the bad thing is he could be just using, oops, sorry about that. He could be using some of this just as a scent post. And he could have just ran through here when I was up yonder. And was going through. But here's some more of my naturally wooded areas. I don't usually mess with them too much. But now I want to take you guys over here to something that's very special. Very special to this homestead. And if we have any tree experts out there in YouTube land, I'd like for you guys to take a look at this and take a gander, take an old guess. coming up on my girls and my donkey. Hey ladies, Delma, Miss Daisy, Calf Pal, David. Now, Miss Daisy, yeah, I do, Josh, and I've been kind of holding out, hoping that you'd come down and help me out with it, but I think I'm going to do that back area maybe this year if I get the time. But this heifer right here is Miss Delma. Yes, I'm talking about you. She is about 2 years old, and she is a product of Miss Daisy right here and a Hereford bull that Miss Daisy, say hi, Miss Daisy. Say hi. Tell everybody hey. Tell everybody hey. You want to give everybody a kiss? Want to give everybody a kiss? Okay. She decided that it was going to be okay to jump a 4-strand barbed wire fence flat-footed to go get her some nookie. She didn't do it but once. The first time she did it, she developed that problem. That's Miss Delma. Now you can tell Miss Delma is more dairy by her snout, her hip bones, and the way her body is. Now, come over to our youngest heifer, this big beast right here. This is Calf Pal. She is also a product from Miss Daisy and that same Hereford bull. But as you see how her shoulders are more defined, her back quarters are more defined. She has a shorter snout. And she looks like what everybody thinks a cow should look like. Okay? She is more beef breed. She's got more of the beef DNA in her. Versus her, as you can see with her, let me see if she'll let me get up a little bit closer. As you can see with her, you see how you can see the back, her hip bones in the back, they're more pronounced. That's because she is a dairy breed. She's more the Jersey Holstein cross versus her, who's more of the heifer. Hereford. And see, like Miss Daisy, see how her hip bones protrude out a little bit different? That's because of the breed. And here comes trouble right here. Now see, here's a cow and a heifer.
You did not just call me a cow.
Now,
Daisy girl.
this heifer,
Daisy.
she's just a huge heifer. Now, the thing that I wanted to tell everybody about that I think is just stupid cool here on my homestead, and that it will always have a place on my homestead as long as I'm alive. Check that out. Okay, I'm going to do a slow tilt with it, and then we'll get closer to see the trunk. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful than a tree like that? This is an oak tree. It produces acorns about the size between a quarter and maybe a ping pong ball will be about the size that she produces. Okay, let's walk up to her trunk. We'll come up here to her trunk. Got to get in here and cut all this privet down. But that's her trunk. Okay, now let me see if I can put it in perspective for you guys. I'm no small dude, okay? I can't even get halfway around. Okay? So, we've had the county extension agent out, and he guesstimates that this oak tree see, Josh is saying over 500. He guesstimated over 2. But let me show you this. It got hit by lightning last year. But that branch, this was a stinking branch. Okay? Because right there it used to come off. You see? That branch is bigger around than most people's trees. There's a beautiful woman right there. There's a pretty lady. Hey, pretty lady.
Hey. Daisy looks so pretty.
Yeah, but that's her right there. Like, Dessa, go stand up against the tree.
Show them, give them perspective on how big that tree is. Okay, now you can know how big it is.
Go up there with her, Mama. She got a nice hiney. That'll tell you how big it is.
It's my big butt doesn't cover it. You know it's big.
We have one more. We have one more like that on our homestead, and it's over there. There's a. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this back around like this. There's a creek back down that way from it that feeds all the way up to here, and it is fed by the beaver pond. So there's that for the water source. But I'm gonna let you guys just take a look at our homestead here, our back pastures, instead of having to look at my ugly mug. And plus, the way that I hold the camera, when I flip the camera around, it shows my fingers and not me. And whoop, mommy head. Our sheep are right over there. They don't let us get nowhere near us. We're like, nope. Last time we got near you guys, you cut our hair. Now we can run faster, but
Man, if I didn't know any better, I'd think somebody came out here and spread seed. Clover seed. Clover, everything.
But there they are. They're hard to see on camera now that they're not a big fluff ball.
Yeah.
But you come around. I haven't made up my mind about this area. Coming up to what's going to be eventually our milking barn and shearing shed all in one. It's hard to get somebody to come out and do hay because we're in the foothills, and as you can see in some spots it does do a whoop-de-whoop. So, but my tree question is how old do you guys think she is? That's what my tree question was. I know she's massive. I know that when she does eventually fall, she'll always stay on this homestead. I'm gonna have somebody mill her up, and I'll make, hopefully I'll have better woodworking skills where I can do furniture by then. And I'll make maybe make some furniture out of her, some outdoor chairs, table, something like that my children will fight over when they after they bury us, because they're already fighting over other stuff already, and we're nowhere near dead yet. But coming up on here, so this is a makeshift homestead tour
Baby cradles
for you guys. And so I'm gonna turn around. We do have a gate right here, but this is gonna come down. And just like all this fencing here is gonna come down. But that is my back pasture. It goes all the way over there past the tree line. You got to go over the creek, and then there's another plot of land on the other side, but there's another tree line, and that's where it stops there. Over here at the tree line it stops, then it goes all the way back to that tree line. This is just one pasture. Now here's our barn, one of our barns that we are going to turn into our milking barn and our shearing shed. Right now we put hay in it to keep it out of the weather, so that way the animals, geese, but this is one of them. We'll put a little corral out back there. We'll close this area off. This will be their holding area, and then we will shear and probably milk in this area right here. We'll square them off where they can't get out and do anything, take some boards off, stuff like that. And you come around over here. Come around. Now all that hay that's on the ground, all this hay that's on the ground is going to get picked up and go to my garden. And it's going to be mulch. When you come around over here to this spot up here as we come up this little bitty hill. Now, down in this holler, down here, right next to that big tree right there, Daisy always calves right there. And I hate her for it. I wish she wouldn't do it.
Be a sticky situation.
But you see all those white flowers? That's all dewberry. And it's not the thornless kind. And this is another one of our food buffers. We let these get thick here. Okay? And the reason being for food buffers is nobody's eating these berries. So the raccoons will come and eat them. The possums will come and eat them. The mice, the rats, and then the snakes will come to eat the mice and rats. And it keeps them away from my chickens, which are way up there.
Our mimosa tree should start.
Now, this area down here is eventually going to be for the pigs. We'll be rotating them through this area here. We will put Jerusalem artichokes in the ground out here. We'll put potatoes in the ground out here. We'll put a bunch of different root vegetables out in the ground out here. I like Jerusalem artichokes because they're invasive and they'll be able to keep up with the pigs. And we'll keep them in small areas and bounce them from week to week, month to month. What was that?
Bat?
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep, that's a bat. Where'd he come
Bats
from?
are out
Did you see where he come from?
in the trees. Also,
Hey, can you guys see him? He's floating around there on screen. But
we got bats too. That's awesome.
yep. But all this area down in there will be for the.
There it is. Back again.
Yep.
Yep.
Dang. Hey, out.
It's hard to tell if they can see it or not because of my screen is so dirty. But all of this will be intensely grazed. We're going to be putting a hard fence right along this path. And then we're going to divide these up into paddocks this year. This year it's going to be done this year. And start running the pasture management program. And we will be bouncing them from area to area.
There you go. Almost over our head.
Yep. We're going to be putting bat boxes out for those guys.
Tiny.
Yeah, there you can see them in there. Well, Josh, Josh, you have an open invitation, my brother, for you and your clan to come down here anytime. Matter of fact, if y'all can get down here in the spring through the fall, then we'll go camping out in that back area and have ourselves a ball. And what? What?
We just went around there because I heard some geese.
Yeah, I know you heard some geese. No. But there's more. Now, this area right on the other side of the hill, I didn't show it to you guys on the way coming in because of that sweet gum that got uprooted from the storm. But that area used to be previous owners, I don't know how many generations back, that used to be their dump area for their trash. Now, we have taken a lot of that garbage that was considered quote-unquote garbage, their junk, the trash, and we have put it into play. A lot of the tires that we use for our tire composting came from there. Plastic barrels. We recycled a lot of the metal, got paid for it. But this is basically our pasture area. Now we're coming up on the gate. On the other side of this gate, you know what? I got to remember that in the beginning, when I first walked out here, I did a live show on the weight loss group, on the Facebook group. So that's why you guys didn't see that area. It wasn't because I didn't show it to you, it's because I wasn't on YouTube. More food buffer right there. Yeah, all of the clover and everything.
That's one thing you can see though. There's clover everywhere.
All that white clover.
Why is Blaze back here?
Here comes the Bubba.
Blaze. You okay?
Here comes the Blaze. Hello, Blaze. Tell everybody in YouTube land hello. I don't think they saw that because it was dark. Do it again. Everything test out good?
It's not as stiff of a brake hose than we did last time. It's better than not stopping at all like it was.
Yeah. Now, this area right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but this area right here is going to be my fodder garden, okay? Over here, there's more dewberries, more of a food buffer right near the pond. But this area right here is going to be where I plant things to turn into feed, turn into feed for the livestock.
Fodder beets.
So that's kind of, it's getting dark. Ooh, getting dark. Okay, my pond, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. There's the pond. The lights in the background is the house and the schoolhouse. I'm walking down, we're going to walk across the dam. Now I know it's going to get dark. Don't get scared. The big bear is here. I'll protect you guys in YouTube land as we walk through the dark. And let's see if we can. Big bullfrog just jumped. See that pond over there through the trees down in there? If you guys were there with us on the goose hunt, that's the pond where Dessa and I killed the goose. Mama gonna backlight us a little bit. And so coming up on the pig pens. Whoop. See, I gotta quit doing that. And everything. So there it is, guys. I did an evening walk. So that way, good old Lush for Life cannot fuss at me. I did it live on YouTube. And you guys got a makeshift homestead tour. Now, we'll probably do a video, homestead tour video, where it's better light. We'll take the GoPro and show you guys everything. But we're up here by the pig pens now. And hard to see them, but they're there.
You can hear them.
But you can hear them. And but you know, as we come from the woods closer towards civilization, you guys can see a little bit more. Over there in that light is my wood shop and my auto mechanic shop. That warms my heart that they are still comfortable with going back there, because come the season, me and Dessa are gonna blast them again. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening.
Shorty.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get a garden video out this week. We just had so many issues with the mail Jeep, with getting the right parts and then waiting on the right tools and stuff like that, that it just really threw us off, and we've been busting our butts trying to get the garden in. But I promise you there's a gardening video coming in our garden, a garden live stream. You guys requested it. I have listened, I have heard. In the Garden with Big Bear will be coming back in the mornings. So we love you guys. Be kind to one another. Remember, repurpose, reuse, recycle. We love you guys. Thanks for coming by. Boop. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?